is a sales pipeline? Well, it's your deal tracker. Do you have one? Let's talk a little bit more about what a sales pipeline is and how we can define it and map it within our own customer journey. By the end of this video, you're going to know what a sales pipeline is and where your business may be leaking revenue and losing business. So a sales pipeline is really just a visual representation of a lead or a customer through your sales process. This comes into play when we're talking about our overall customer journey. So when we're talking about our customer journey, we're usually taking a broad look at the business and we're taking a look at our marketing, our sales pipeline, and our fulfillment, as well as our internal processes. So the sales pipeline part is probably going to include bits and pieces of your marketing. It's probably going to include bits and pieces in that process of your total sales, maybe of tracking the appointments that people are setting with your company or with your sales team. It is probably also tracking a lot of internal processes for the sales and the marketing team. So I want to be really clear about that. When we're talking about our sales pipeline, it is important to have our customer journey in totality mapped out before we go creating our stages within our sales pipeline. Now, I've done some talking here about the stages within our sales pipeline, and I want to dive into that just a little bit more for you right now. Okay, so inside of your sales pipeline process, usually you're going to have a stage that is new lead. I define a lead oftentimes as somebody who I have collected valuable information from, whether that is their Instagram name, whether it's their Facebook name, it's their email address, phone number, those are optimal, their name, all of that information. So a lead is better defined as somebody who we've collected information from and has given us permission to talk to them more. So we have new lead, all right? As you can tell, inside of new lead, that could entail any number of marketing funnels and longer term like nurture that we're doing with that lead. So new lead. The next major stage that we're going to see is what would be the next process that we want them to complete. So we're talking about new lead. If we were talking about my business, the next thing that I would want them to do would be to schedule a consultation. So my next pipeline stage is going to be, so my first pipeline stage, I would probably change to new lead needs to schedule, meaning they need to schedule an appointment. My second area would be scheduled appointment needs to show up. Okay, now from there, you're going to notice there are places where that person could fall out of the funnel really quickly. And so we have follow-up. When it comes to the new lead needs to schedule, they're going to see a series of emails, text messages that are calling them back to scheduling or moving on to that next stage. The second stage that we're taking a look at would be reminding them about their appointment. What happens if they no-show? What happens if they show up? That would mean that our third stage is, what is our call outcome? And we would determine what our call outcome is. Are we sending a proposal? Was it a one-call close? Did they no-show for that appointment? And then we would send them on a journey throughout that, or we want to know who is in that stage. Within our pipeline, we're usually going to have a spot for deals that we closed, proposals that are outstanding, and then we're going to have probably an area for not a good fit. Not everybody that you talk to is going to be a right fit for your business. And it's okay to have a spot for this is a dead lead, or they're not ready for your business, your brand, or your services that you currently offer. It's important to remember that not every business is going to have the exact same sales pipeline stages. You can also use a lot of different CRM systems and platforms to help build out different pipelines for different products or services within your business, if that makes sense for your business. So it's important to always take these sales pipeline stages and don't just cookie cutter them, but instead, once you have that visual customer journey, then mapping out those different stages that you visually will want to see within your sales process. So again, often I will have a stage for new lead. They're new to this area. What do I want them to do next? Then we have a proposal or a demonstration of your product or your service. And finally with like closed or those who are not a good qualified fit. Your sales pipeline is mission critical when it comes to being able to forecast, follow up with your leads properly, and be able to hold your sales team accountable for the various metrics. It's also going to help you choose the right metrics to measure for your marketing and your fulfillment. So if you want to get a clearer picture and understanding of how to build out your customer journey so that you can go through and define those stages within your sales pipeline, then I encourage you to check out this video right here where we dive deeper into what a customer journey is and how you can implement it. I hope you enjoyed the content and learning a little bit more about what your sales pipeline is. As I always say, simplicity scales and complexity fails. I want you to make sure and keep it simple.